Good morning. Oh, as I always say, it's a beautiful day in Bentry, right? Cloudy, foggy, good day for ducks. Welcome to Lake and Wildlife, Saturday morning. We're very happy to have you here. We're going to start it off with our mission as we usually do. Living in Bentry is a privilege, which includes the responsibility to take care of the natural world around us. Therefore, Lake and Wildlife works to preserve the natural beauty and wildlife of Bentry by encouraging BTCI and all the residents here to be good stewards of our natural resources. So our goal here at Lake and Wildlife is always to monitor, educate, and volunteer people to understand the environment that we live in. Today's agenda, we'll welcome our new people today, which there are a number of. We'll have our board report, committee reports, a quick treasurer's report, and then Mark Warren on medicinal plants, plus a little extra on living with wildlife. We don't mind at all. Thank you for coming. This is great. Okay, we'll have a short report from Artie from our board of directors.
Good morning, Bentry. So, at the last board meeting, your board approved 5 lot combinations. We approved the community garden at the Quarry, which Fred has already built. How many?
10 total.
We approved a corporate golf program. We approved the construction of a wooden dock just west side of Sally Doss to moor the Marine 3 vessel. What that allows the public safety folks that get on that vessel to get on it safely. Okay? Let's talk about Creekside. Property owners are currently voting on whether or not to approve or not approve Creekside. And for those of you who are not aware, Creekside is a proposed development on our 28 acres that we own on Bentry Drive and Cove Road. If we approve this, 53 homes would be built, and it would generate, when complete, annual assessments of $300,000 of badly needed revenue. So we're voting right now. The voting is done on June 30th. So at 5 o'clock June 30th, we're either going to know that this development will not happen or that it's going to happen. But it's not guaranteed that it's going to happen because there's a number of obstacles. But if you vote to approve and move forward with Creekside, there's a commitment of the board and staff to overcome any obstacle. So we're going to be working hard to make sure that this happens. And the last thing I want to note is yesterday I was driving past the pool and there was this refrigerated truck, which means today at the pool you can have popsicles. So enjoy. Thank you.
Thank you, Artie. Appreciate the updates and the support. We appreciate it very much. Thank you. Okay, just some quick committee notes. For those of you, these are the executive committee of Lake and Wildlife. I always like to update each month kind of what we're doing and where we're going. So different committees, fundraising. Tamarack Treasures, of course, is over for the first half of the year, and there will be more in the fall. And that is a huge sale that brings in revenue for Lake and Wildlife. And so watch for the fall meeting and volunteers to help in that. KBTB, Andy, come on up.
Okay. My name's Andy Kidd, and I'm the chairman of the Keep Bentry Beautiful, which is the group that landscapes and plants annual plantings in our common landscape zones. but we are expanding our area. But first, the most important thing today is, how many people know where Smokey the Bear is in Bent Tree? Raise your hand. Very good. Today, he's 81 years old. He was founded in 1944. He was born in 1944. And he's gone through various changes throughout the years, of course, as we all do. Face changes, new outfits. We're going to be taking KBTB. We have a volunteer artist who will repaint Smokey and the original vintage colors. So it's going to go down. It's coming down today or tomorrow. Don't call security saying someone has stolen Smokey the Bear. It's okay. He'll be up before the 4th of July. And I just want you to know, that's a vintage antique sign that we want to keep that way. Cool? Okay. If you approve, clap your hands together. KBT has taken on the responsibility for a new community garden, and it is located at the Quarry site. To the right of the Quarry as you drive in, next to the pond. We have had approval by the board, the architectural committee, and we're going to start out with a trial of 10 raised beds. They're 2 feet by 8 feet long, and we're going to charge $60 per year to rent the bed. And I would assume you'd get 2 seasons out of that. The rental cost up front will go to pay off our lumber charges that we bought at Home Depot and that we've constructed. The raised beds have to stay. We want to maintain the same. They got to look the same. They got to look halfway, good, not pink and purple polka dots and all that. So it's all cool. The administration has been amazing. The Ashley with Grounds and Maintenance has already dumped loads of topsoil out there for us. For some reason, we have horse manure that's left out there. And then we've got the fire department and security giving us water that is put in a cistern that's up at the top by the pond. And they're going to keep this cistern, I think it's about a 5,000 gallon cistern. They'll keep it full using the pump that they have already down at the Quarry. So Kim Stewart, look her up in the directory. She's in charge of booking these things and any other events. I'm sort of the overseer. She does the hard work. Also, if you know Jen Balfour, they're working on that. So cool. Any questions on the raised bed community garden? Question? I can't hear that. What? Nope, it is not protected from the deer. The deer have to jump off a cliff to get to it, or they got to swim in through the pond. So that's a good thing. But you'll have to put netting over your bed. There's a sample that's up there. You guys might take a little trip up there and look. It's on the right-hand side of the pond, the Quarry, and it's cool. However, there is some green, mossy material that is on the ground. It's a plant, and it is endangered. So don't roll your car up there, your golf cart, and roll over the green stuff. There's also deer moss up close to the pond. Try to stay away from the deer moss. It is semi-endangered from what I understand. Questions? Thank you.
Thank you, Andy. And Fred, thank you also. I know you've been working hard with us on the AC committee to get this through and also to work on that work meeting to get all 10 of them put together in 50 minutes. That's just great. That's just great. So we appreciate your help and cooperation. And in regard to what Andy talked about too, there are high poles around the beds higher than a deer, although deer do what they're going to do. But there is some fencing up around the side of them. Wildlife. Miguel is in Florida and couldn't be here today, but obviously wildlife has been of great interest the last couple of weeks, especially with the unfortunate demise of the mama bear and her cubs and what was left. So he wanted to just make sure and remind people that, we're contributing information, sharing information on Wildlife Wednesdays, which comes out as an email, and also on the Friday news, and in between about wildlife, about bears, about, how to live with wildlife. And on the table over there, you'll see a lot of information from Bear Wise, which is a group here in North Georgia that has door hangers and all kinds of other things that you can take home with you to put up as to how to live with wildlife and bears and what to do and what not to do. Lake and Wildlife is very sad to see what happened, but on the other hand, it's a time to educate again, which we've done over and over. As you know, Bear Wise has been here to speak and may be coming again in the future. But I think if we look at a bigger picture, Buddy Kreef, our chairman and board of directors, has tasked us and is going to meet with us on Monday to start putting together more information about how we live with wildlife in Bentry. Information that can go out to our newcomers in a package, information to people that are renting here, information just that we can pick up and have, or on a website go get, just how we live better with wildlife here. Educate, that's part of our mission. So you'll see more on that coming, and I think that just moves us up to another level that we need to be at with our community here. Communications through Miguel comes out and on Wednesday and then on Friday, and also through Dara on social media to continue to keep us involved with the community and those around us. And I guess the other thing that Miguel wanted to mention at this time is there's a lot of fawns and little deer around and a lot of small animals. So just be careful as you're driving, keep your eyes open, keep your lights on, and watch for them. They'll be fine. We don't need to interfere with their life. So as far as the deer go, there's plenty of deer, as you all know. They live here. They come back and forth. And also bear. And I want to mention to this group also that of interest that during this bear situation, the young lady, Lisa Kroll, emailed us, me and Jim Pryor from Big Canoe. They have a 503c over there called the Black Bear Project. And they do the similar things that we do, but they do them even more and better in various areas of education and training and things what they do with people in social clubs as well as Big Canoe residents and so on. So we're going to have them come in just to talk to us a little bit at our executive meeting on Monday, kind of get our heads together. 4 eyes are better than 2. And so between us, we can do this a little better and learn and get the facts right. So we're moving up and trying to, coordinate with them also. Lake and streams, Huff, come on up just for a second. Huff, it's good to see you up and at 'em.
For those of you that are new here, I'd love to talk to all of y'all about what we've done in the lake for the last 3 to 4 years to make the fishing better. But just shortly, let me tell you what's happening now. We have 13 fish feeders out around the lake. 11 of them, 10 of those are in private lots adopted by lake owners that live there on the lake, and 3 are on our docks, one at the boat ramp, one at Sally Doss, and one at the beach pavilion. The fish are like piranhas when it goes off. It's 8 o'clock, 12 o'clock, and 5 o'clock. They go off for 3 seconds. They throw the feed a long ways away. We're feeding lots of fish, geese, ducks, and turtles. Honestly, the ducks know somehow what time they go off, and they show up right before they go off. So it's fun to see the different wildlife. The kids for Youth Week can fish from the docks and catch all the fish they want to. Worms work great. A little piece of hot dog works great. A little bit of bread works great. Prior to Youth Week, I go and bait the docks. I put worms out there and bread and all at all the docks to make sure the kids have an opportunity to catch the fish. So if your grandchildren or children are coming up here for Youth Week, make sure they go fishing at the dock if they can. last year, I had a fishing with Huff for Youth Week. We had 8 or 9 kids that went out. I had 7 or 8 captains, including myself. We took them out. We caught fish. We went up to the beach pavilion. We taught them how to clean the fish. Eldon Barnett cooked them, showed them how to cook them, and we had a fish fry for the kids and the parents for the fish that they caught. I couldn't do it this year. I had some health problems, and you can probably tell a little bit in my speech. I'm still recovering from some of that. But to make a long story short, the fishing now is terrific this year. We've had a 12-pound bass caught. We've had an 8-pound bass caught. We had a number of 6 and 5-pound bass caught. We had a father and a son caught 38 bass in one day. Everyone's catching fish right now. The fishing is really, really good because of the improvements that we've made. Those of you that have not heard my talk before about habitat we put in and what we've done, the new people, feel free to grab me after the meeting and I'll bore you with all the things we've done. But fishing is great. The lake is in really good shape and love to see y'all out there. Yes. Yes.
Is there any report on anybody catching walleye?
Well, we put walleye in there 2 years ago, and they were about this big when we put them in. I caught 3 right off the bat. That's probably because I kind of knew where they were going, and but since then, no one has caught any walleye. The biologist that helps us put a boat in. Oh, it's probably about 6 weeks ago, with one of those super scopes, these bass fishing you use, and can tell every fish everywhere. We found the walleye. They were in 60 feet of water, all in one big school. And all I can tell you is they're there. The biologist tells me that as they are sitting there at that size, they're catching plenty of food and they're not moving anywhere. That they feel good in the school. As they get bigger, they need more food. They'll disperse and we'll start catching them. But they're there. They're just hard to catch. Plenty of brim. Yes, ma'am.
What are the regulations right now for what you keep and what you throw back, etc.?
There's a sign at the boat ramp, at all the docks, up on the dam, and it gives you all the regulations. But something I'd like to point out, one of the things we're trying to do is to get as many of the spotted bass out of the lake as possible. The reason being is they're a type of bass that out-eats everything in the lake. It would eat all the little fingerling bass that are hatched out and so forth. So that's something we're working on. I can help you determine what a spotted bass is very quickly. They've got a stripe down the side, and on the tongue, they've got a spot. And so you can, and what I'm saying is pull them out. We've been putting them over the spillway. We have been putting them in some of the golf course ponds. We've been putting them in the freezer. So we're trying to remove those. It's a matter of education, but the lake, 3-4 years ago, the fishing was horrible here, and there's a reason for it. But we've done a lot of work. We put a bunch of habitat in there, Christmas trees, artificial bushes, goes on and goes on. But the fishing today in that lake is really, really good. And we put crawfish in every year. I'm getting longer than I wanted to, but yes.
What's the status on the fish cleaning station?
We're going in. AC has approved it. The board has voted to approve it. Now that my health is getting back, I'll have it done within 30 days. We're going to put it at Sally Doss. And the reason we're not putting it at the boat ramp, that is silting in so badly that the water quality is not good. And at Sally Doss, we have moving water, we have deeper water, we got turtles and catfish that can eat the heads or whatever you throw in there. And we want to make sure that that it's done in such a way so we won't see the refuge floating in the lake. If so, we got a plan B for that. But we'll have that done, and just bear with me. I've had a little delay in getting it done, but we'll get it done. Any other questions? All right, go fishing.
Thank you, Huff. Thanks for all you do. We appreciate it. Yeah, fishing's good on Lake Tamarack. As far as the streams in the lake, further, just a couple items. One is we did the stream monitoring last month and everything is in good shape. Mason and I put a couple days in and found our DO good at 7 and 8, pH at 7 and 8, and our turbidity was down low. The streams are low. You'll see as you drive around, they're moving. There's not a lot of activity in the streams, but the quality is very good. Conductivity is good, so that's very good. We also, Huff and I and Kevin O'Brien last week went out and put the first round of pellets around the beach. Remember last year there was some concern about leeches at the beach and so on, so we've done these pellets last year. We'll do it again this year. We did our first application, so that's out there to help stop the leeches. Dredging, as they mentioned, there's some low areas. We're always working with the board on a plan. That cannot be forgotten because there's $100,000 they put aside. That's got to continue to be put aside. I toured the entire lake again last week, and there's areas that obviously need to be done, or we'll just have a lot more lakefront around this lake. So anyway, I'm going to move on quick to the habitat conservation. Recovering too here with my thumb there.
I knew Huff couldn't make a long story short, but for focus on habitat conservation, please, if you haven't seen them already, if you have a minute, take a look through all the educational material at the back. There's some references and things to scan, QR codes, so you can get more information, and that's kind of our focus in habitat conservation recently. So I'll just leave it at that in the interest of time. Thank you.
Thank you, Dara. Thanks for all you do. I know it's hard. You're busy. Moving right along, communications. Again, we have two people involved. Dara, who handles the social media and social media postings and answers. And then we have Miguel, who's not here today, who handles the Wednesday and Fridays now news that goes out in, so also the Echo. And those things will continue to move along. Watch for those as you move along and see and get the emails. New people that have moved here, make sure you get the Friday news, and watch for Wednesday wildlife news from us. And it'll tell you about all the things that we're doing and some of this that we're talking about today. Bear information, obviously, that'll go out as well as other wildlife too, how to live with other wildlife. Projects, right now, I can tell you that the trails are our projects that we continue to work on, and the trail sign renewal. And my co-chair, Jim White, who's back there, who was helpful today to pitch in and get the coffee going because our treasurer, Denise, had to leave to go to her in-laws after they fell and mother-in-law broke her ankle. So Jim is doing the renewals on our trail signs, the big trail signs that are at the trailheads. And he's gotten good activity. Some people are renewing, some people not. But there's also a number of people that have come up and said, hey, I'd like to pay for those signs. And if I remember right, Jim, it's like $400 for 3 years, right? I mean, it's not that much for that big sign. Get your name out there. So he's making good progress. Special events, I'm just going to mention that we had talked about having the fish fry, and we were unable to get people to lead it and run it and work it. So we've just canceled it for this June, maybe another time, another day. But again, we look for people to come up and help us with these types of special projects and events. And I'll just leave it at that. We move onward and upward. Trails. Mason, do you have just a minute maybe to update us? Mason's the head of our trails here, maintenance.
Good morning. Nothing really new. Well, we have run into an issue with the Forever Memorial Trail, and we've had to close it down from the bottom of the waterfall down toward the horse stables. We've learned that when the trail was built, it encroached on one of the neighbors' properties, and so we're exploring options to overcome that issue. But it's going to take some time before we'll be able to reopen that trail below the waterfall. You can still go to the waterfall, and if you really want to hike it, you can park down near the stables and go. There's a trail the horses used to use right near the stable office that would get on the trail, and you could traverse the portion of the trail that's below the neighbor's property. I encourage everybody to check out the Chestnut Cove trails.
We've gotten great feedback from everybody that has. I can't do anything about the elevations that are there. So there are some areas that are a little tougher to come back up the hill when you're coming home. But the trails are beautiful, and when the water's running, as I think it still is right at the moment, it's really beautiful area with the various streams that we have on that mountainside. Beyond that, we'll be looking for volunteers to help me do some restoration on the Beaver Run Trail this fall. There's some areas that need improvement to eliminate some safety hazards. And if anybody's interested, I have a pile of mulch that I have encroached on Dora's wildlife or habitat planning that I've got to get off. And I was hoping to get it off before Monday, before our next executive team meeting, so I don't have to hear about it. So anybody could come out this afternoon or tomorrow afternoon, or actually I'll probably try tomorrow morning when it's cool. I would encourage you to come out and move mulch. One more thing. We do the hiking club. The next hike will be next Saturday, and it's going to be local. It's right here. We're going to explore the Eagles Rest trails on top of Stump Mountain. We'll be meeting at the admin building at 10:30 and going up to some people parking on the trailhead, some people parking at Sherry McMullen's house. She's going to be leading that hike. We're telling everybody to bring a picnic lunch, bring their own picnic lunch, and we're going to picnic up on top of Eagles Rest at the picnic pavilion.
Thank you, Mason. For people that are newcomers, there's 5 and 6 different trails within Bent Tree that you can walk and hike all over, and you'll see copies of where they are in the directory. But if you'd like to be more involved or help Mason, Mason Holland, Holland, he's in the directory, and I know would welcome your help. But also our liaison with the hiking club. As you know, the hiking club goes out every month and hikes trails here and around the area and up into Tennessee. So if you like to hike and watch and look and enjoy nature, give Mason a call or give him an email. Thank you, Mason. All right, let's move on to the treasurer's report. As I say, Denise is in Florida too with their in-laws. We're having some physical problems. But our beginning balance of the first of the year was $18,007. Revenues year to date, $18,760, expenditures $17,400. So our ending balance as of the end of May was $20,131. Just as the highlights, the revenues are primarily from the sign renewal program, also from the hanging basket sale that we did. There's a small amount from Whispering Springs where we volunteer at that nursery. And then $11,200, which is Tabernacle Treasurer's, the first one of the year, which is fantastic. So along with that goes expenses, of course, but our balance is good. Our balance is good in the bank. And we appreciate everything you all did and everything that you contributed to Lake and Wildlife. Upcoming events, July we do not have one because of Youth Fest, but we will be sponsoring and working at least 7 different sessions at Youth Fest. People here running and helping the youth. August is marble mining around Bent Tree. September is Firewise and Safety with Michael Quarry, our safety director. October, we'll have fall. Miguel will do a presentation and some volunteer work. Fair. November, community erosion control and how we can work on that throughout the community. And then December, of course, our annual report from Jim Pryor, who is our general manager here at Bent Tree. So, moving on. We don't want Mark to wait too long. What do you think? How can you help? Comments are always welcome. Myself, Jim, my co-chair, as well as Lake and Wildlife, which you can email at benttreelw@gmail.com. Just remember that. Just give us an email. Say, hey, I'd like to know more about this. I'd like to help you with that. Or why don't you fix this? Or why don't you do that? Direct mail comes right to us, and we can handle it. And we do get some. So, without further ado, I am going to move along. I'm going to ask my co-chair, Jim White, to introduce Mark Warren while I set up his presentation. Any other questions? All right. Jim, thank you. Appreciate it.
I'd like to just mention one caveat to the coffee and the donuts. I'll take responsibility for the donuts along with Dunkin' Donuts. The person that made the coffee had to leave early, so I hope the coffee is okay.